What is your current perspective allowing for? Every situation you find yourself in. Well, first, your perspective is your life. That's like when you want to make an app, you pass on the code and essentially the plan to the developer so they can make the plan. Your perspective is all of that. Your perspective unlocks life or locks life. Jesus Christ, Son of God, the Word of God, the same power that rose Christ from the dead is alive in all of us. And it's your perspective that unlocks that. Um, what is your current perspective allowing for? Say you find yourself in a seeming altercation. You guys, there's parties, multiple parties, and their views are not aligning. They're like contradicting each other. And there's seeming tension. That tension that you feel and the potential anger that you feel is because of your current perspective. Your current perspective, subconsciously, you're not thinking like every time you're in a situation, you're not consciously overlaying your perspective on everything. It's a subconscious process. But your current perspective is what's allowing for anger. Your current perspective is what's not allowing for maturity. Because to be mature, Jesus Christ was the most mature to ever live on this planet, ever, ever, ever. And you could say because he was God, and I'll agree. But we're called to be as mature as he was. We're called to be as mature as he was. And to be as mature as he was, he laid out the blueprint. You treat others as you would like to be treated. And there's more, but it's escaping my mind. But you have to be strong and mature to feel anger and still be courteous towards your neighbor. Still be willing to hear out your neighbor. It's weak and it's easy. It's the easy path to feel anger, be in the mud, and then throw your mud on everybody else because you don't want to feel it, because they caused you to feel that. Even though when you point your finger at them, there's three pointing back at you. What is my current perspective allowing for? It's my current perspective that's allowing for me to be defensive right now. You're unlocking that path for you. That isn't the way that you're reacting to life, isn't the only way to live life. It's the way that your perspective allowed for. It's the path that there's a light on because of your perspective, but there's an infinite amount of paths. There's the path that you actually want to live. That is 100% possible, for you to live. But you have to unlock it with your perspective. You have to unlock it with where your eyes look. You have to, the world, everything else. The only real perspective, the only real program is in the Word. The only real program is Jesus Christ. Yet it is still a program. It's still something you have to seemingly put into your system. It's still input that you have to put into the coding of your mind. Yeah, that's a powerful question. And it doesn't only apply when you're with other people. What is my current perspective allowing for? When you're alone in your room and you feel tension and depressed and lonely and helpless and like, what am I doing in life? You feel lost. You don't know what you're doing. My current perspective is allowing for me to downwardly spiral. My current perspective is not allowing for me to be grateful for the little things I have in life. And this goes back to the food that you eat. The food that you eat allows you easier to move through different perspectives. When you're a zombie who eats cheeseburgers and pizza and cookies and refined sugar, you don't care about all these things. You skip over the subtleties of life. You skip over the deeper layers of life, and you live life like a zombie on the surface. There's programs in your food. The demonic program of, okay, we'll do this first. When your mom or your dad or somebody in your family or somebody who cares about you makes you a dish, there's a program of community and love in that dish. That's the secret ingredient. You go to McDonald's, The secret ingredient is the devil's tail. The programming of McDonald's is zombie. The programming of McDonald's is to live for the world, to live for gratifying your flesh. It's false. The food that you eat greater impacts your perspective on life. Do you look at a tree and see God's creation? Or do you look at a tree just because your eyes are wandering and it happens to be in your path and you don't give it a second thought? What is my current perspective allowing for? And you can even reverse engineer it like that. Say you want to love the little things in life. You want to see God in everything. You look at a tree and you say to yourself, my current perspective is not allowing for me to see the beauty in everything. And then when you say that, you're taking a step back and you're looking at your mind. You're looking at the inner workings of your mind, the perspective that infers all of your decisions. Well, your perspective seemingly changes throughout situations, but that question gives you that bird's eye view. You need that bird's eye view because you can't change a problem from the same level of consciousness that it originated from. So when you take a step back, you're no longer in that level of consciousness. Now you're above it and you can see it. Or even if you can't see it, even if you ask the question and the perspective that you have currently doesn't come to mind, it puts your mind on the importance of your perspective. Okay, so my perspective is allowing me to have anger right now. Let's inform my perspective now so I have peace and I have respect for my fellow person, for my fellow man, for my fellow neighbor. And yeah, things of that nature. Awareness is 90% of transformation. That's why this is so powerful, because you get to the root. Your perspective is your life. How you see life is how you see life. It doesn't get much more simple than that. Yeah, I think I ended there. This will be a quicker video. Yeah, if you made it this far into the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you. You know when you try to end videos, but like you don't have like a script. So sometimes I'd be feeling awkward ending it. But like, you know how people just like walk off and then they edit like a black screen. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.